Have you thought seriously about some of the things that you'd like to check off your bucket list, the things to do before I die? Well, that's what we're looking at today on Go Island. Today on Go, a road trip to Little Qualicum Cheese Works, 2 kids find help through sun drops, and building confidence with the Arrington Therapeutic Riding Association. That and more today on Go. You're watching Go Island. Before I die, I want to help others in significant ways. I want to enjoy every moment. I want to visit God, to be healthier, to love everyone, to be enlightened, or even just to love. These are a few of the things that people have written on the Before I Die board here at Red Door Yoga Studio. It's a national project that has a lot of flexibility. The board here is closed to the public, but the impact that it's had on people and the folks here at Red Door Yoga Studio will never be over. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Maybe your Do Before I Die list includes a visit to Little Qualicum Cheese Works. That's what's up next. It's Annette Lucas with our road trip. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Katebergen. This is Kavita Maharaj. She's the operator, owner, instructor?
Yeah, owner and operator.
Owner and operator of Red Door Yoga Studio, now with a permanent home here on Olds Road in Lantsville. We're standing in front of Before I Die, a big black chalkboard. How did it come to be? What is this project?
Well, this project was actually started rather by Candy Chang, who is from New Orleans, believe it or not, and she's a civic artist. Basically, she creates public spaces and art in those public spaces that allows the public to interact and to come together as a community and allow them to have input in the world they want to create, which of course is very much up our yogic path.
Right.
And she had created this project when a friend of hers died, someone she really cared about, and it kind of made her stop and take stock of her life. And they had painted the entire side of an abandoned building in New Orleans like this, Before I Die, and so people who just walked by interacted with it, and it was such a successful project that she then started the Civic Center organization and started to encourage others around the world to get involved as well, to create their own boards. I came upon this and I thought it was a great yogic idea. And so,
how did you come upon it? How did it first come into your awareness?
If I remember correctly, I believe it was on the Colbert Report, actually. I became aware of this project and I started investigating further into it. When we built this board, we were the second board in Canada. When I did some research, there was one in Winnipeg, and so we were then the second board, and I believe there's now one in Toronto, and I believe one in Vancouver now.
Wow, it's amazing how these things just catch on. I can picture more, and they're always in a public space?
Yes, always in a public space, so that, you know, for example, even though it's at the studio, we didn't want just yoga students being able to interact with it. We wanted everybody to be able to interact. So we've had people from the wider community just stop by and interact with the board. I was saying to someone earlier, we've had people stop by and have their photo taken with the board. Yes. And one of the things I really, really loved was one day we saw a couple of kids come by and ride on the board. Yeah. And they were things like, you know, I want to stop fighting before I die. I want to stop fighting so much with my parents, was what one of them wrote. And so you're really getting to see people's innermost thoughts, people from all walks of life, all ages, you know, and one of the things it does for you is you get to step back, look at it and realize that everyone's just like you.
Yeah.
You know, the same type of stuff that you're thinking about or dealing with or whatever it is or longing for. This is what everybody else is longing for and thinking about.
There's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
The unity of society,
Yes.
all the different walks of life, and the realization that achieving what we want to achieve before we die could be as simple as just writing it down and putting it out there, and that could be the step that we need to realize our dreams. I'm getting chills. We're going to talk more about Before I Die, the wall here at the Red Door Yoga Studio later on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, we're throwing things over to Terry Church in the Cowichan Valley. 2 children with developmental challenges are finding help through the Sun Drops program. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Katebergen. We're standing beside the Nanaimo Before I Die wall. It's actually a national project that you can find popping up in communities all across North America. There is a website, beforeidie.cc, and it really is fascinating to read some of the posts on the board. There's one there that says, "Before I die, I want to see Led Zeppelin live." Yeah, good luck with that one. We'll be back with more on Go after a short break. Still ahead today on Go Island, canine-obsessed artists and a moving exhibit, and a crazy busy jazzercise class in Victoria. That and more still ahead today on Go. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Katebergen, and this is the Before I Die wall. And it's fascinating reading some of what people have written on here. One that says, "Before I die, I want to nourish my body with healthy food and thoughts." Thought, very important to the health of any individual. And here's one, oh, almost tears in my eye. Before I would die, I want Susan to find happiness. Their dying wish is for somebody else in their life to find happiness. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're going to throw things over now to Jenny Fortin in Port Alberni. She's introducing us to a canine-obsessed artist whose work is, well, it's moving on to an exhibit. I think it's got something to do with t-shirts. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're standing outside, well, on the property of Red Door Yoga Studio here in Landsville. Kavita is the owner-operator here, and this is the Before I Die wall. What are some of the highlights? What are some things that people have written on here? Teach yoga is one at the top.
You know, one of the ones, there are various ones that are quite poignant and some that are quite funny. One of the things I find funny is like, "Before I die, I want to like my boss." I actually think that, yes, I want to like my boss.
And this is the opportunity when the boss is watching. Already done that one. Okay,
yeah.
we like our boss. Yeah. Love everyone. That's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, have a family.
Yeah, have a family. I mean, you can start to see in some of them, like I said, that there's a bit of a yearning. So if we look at things like, you know, honor my true self. If you look at that person is trying to find how to be themselves in this world, right? Yes. Which is what all of us are doing, trying to find how to be yourself. And you can actually understand some of the emotions this person might be going through in order to do this.
Why do you think it's beneficial for people to put those emotions on a board like this?
Well, you know, for myself, even when I've come up to write on the board, I always kind of stop. I walk up to it with great confidence, stop and go, what do I really want to do? Like it actually makes me stop every time and really take stock. And there's a little bit of soul searching that comes out. So it's almost like the first truth you tell yourself.
Publicly.
Yes, when you finally write it down, you're saying, I'm going to acknowledge this truth and I'm going to acknowledge it publicly. And there's real strength in that.
Right. What is something you wrote down? I have to ask.
I wanted to extend the reach of the ashram. So even though, yes, we're a studio, we're more than just a yoga studio. Things like this are the ashram aspect of the studio, where we start to touch the lives of people who are even beyond our walls. Right. So that was one of the things that was important to me.
Now, you've officially closed it.
Yes, it's been closed for, I think, what, a week, 2 weeks now? Yeah. And part of the reason we officially closed the board was you can see that some of these things are disappearing. With the fall here, it's starting to rain and some of this is washing away. So the idea was we had it up for the most part when the weather was really great. And then we'll take this down and we'll be looking at another community project probably a little later when the weather starts to improve a little bit again.
Do you think this one will be resurrected?
I think it will be resurrected. It was so well received by people. I mean, we covered this board more than 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it would take, you know, less than a week for this board to fill up. And it was people, you know, it was people from the studio, people outside of the studio. So I think this one would be resurrected. And some of people were actually disappointed then when they knew we were going to take it down, you know?
And people have been sneaking in still and adding little things on the bottom. You can probably see my son running around. David's joining us today. It's a Pro D day in the school district. And I've accomplished something in my life. My do before I die list is have healthy, happy children. And the only thing I would add to the board at this stage would be that they continue to live a happy, healthy life. So you can't see him right now. David, you want to wave at Derek here? That's on my do before my die list. The best of life for my little guy. We'll be back with more on Go Island after this short break. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Katebergen. I'm just going to share something with you. The conversation that's been happening behind the camera is Derek Johnstone today is behind the camera, and he got here to the Red Door Studio in Lanceville before I did, the Red Door Yoga Studio, and he's like, Kate, you're going to talk about this for 12 minutes? And it's not a problem. This Before I Die wall is fascinating. People write down things that they want to do before they die. And not only is it sort of a release and putting it out there for the person who's doing the writing, but for the people reading it.
Absolutely.
Kavita, we were just talking about how there's value in just reading what people say.
You know, one of the things is if you stand in front of this board and you see everything that's been written, you really get a snapshot of the human mind. And you know what, all of our minds work this way. You get to see, you know, things that deal with love and hope, and you get to see sadness and struggle, etc. And it's what we all deal with. And so the Before I Die board really allows you to get outside of your own ego. It makes you stop feeling like such an individual, and you start to connect to the greater community. And there's real strength in that. There's real strength and comfort in feeling connected to everyone else.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing it with us today. We're going to throw things over now to Derek Johnstone. He's also behind the camera, but he's also introducing us to a therapeutic writing association that has been doing wonderful things with young people with mental challenges and physical challenges for the past 22 years. Here's Derek Johnstone and the Arrington Therapeutic Writing Association. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. I've really enjoyed, as I knew that I would, reading the postings on the Before I Die wall. Unfortunately, this wall will be taken down very shortly. If you're interested in creating a wall of your own in the community or finding out where others are posted, you can visit the website beforeidie.cc. Now, one of the writings on here is, Before I die, I want to help others in significant ways. And Kavita asked me to let you know that the Red Door Yoga Studio has the Yogic Way magazine. And if you go to their website, reddooryoga.ca, there's a link to a site on there, Random Acts of Kindness. And that is something that Kavita will be working on next season here at Red Door Yoga Studio. Thanks for watching this edition of Go Island. We'll see you next time.